कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Sugriva, who was in a drunken state, who was in a state where he managed to comfortably forget the promises that he had made, the commitments that he had made to Rama, was reminded of his promises by Hanuman and later by Lakshmana. Tara goes to the defense of Sugriva and intelligently manages to receive forgiveness from Lakshmana. Lakshmana and Sugriva speak to each other, they become friends again, and they reach the assembly of Rama. Rama understands from Sugriva his meticulous planning of making leaders in the Vanara Sayanam and sending them in different directions to the north, to the east, west and south. In the southern direction is our very dear beloved Hanuman with Jambavan, Nala, Nila and Angada. While all the Vanaras were leaving Rama's presence to go in different directions, Rama calls only Hanuman and says, Dadau tasya tata pritaha svanamang kopashobhitam anguliyam abhignanam rajaputryaha parantapaha. He gives his signet ring, Abhignanam, the one that was gifted to him in the marriage by his dear father-in-law Janaka, Siradhvaja, to Hanuman. Now, after giving this ring, we may have a question. When so many Vanaras are going in search, why did Rama choose only Hanuman? Immediately, we as Bhaktas of Hanuman will come up with the answer, because Rama was very sure that only Hanuman will be able to spot Sita. If Rama was 100% sure that Hanuman alone can spot Sita, why should he waste so many human resources in the search of Sita? He could have sent the other Vanaras, go and take rest in your house. When he was so sure that Hanuman alone was going to see Sita, why should he waste the time of so many other resources? Isn't this a concept of badly using human resources in the management sphere? There is something more to it. That we will know only in Kishkindha Kandam. Let's now assume that Hanuman has accepted the signet ring, the Anguliyakam of Rama, and leaves. As Hanuman leaves the place, they go in different directions. I am going to leave the description of the Vanaras which went in the other directions because there is no vivid description of it. They all left. They all went in search of Sita. Nothing more is described to it. Whereas those which went in the southern direction like Hanuman, Nala, Nila, Jambavan, Angada is where we get vivid descriptions from. So they move garden after garden, cave after cave. All those little anecdotes have been described by Valmiki in detail. They reach the southern part of Bharatadesham, around, if I have to give you the geography, around a place called as Tirunelveli. It is an important town in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, lying by the banks of an important river called Tamraparni. Tamraparni, this name occurs in Ramayanam. It also occurs in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kvachit kvachin mahabhaga dramideshu cha bhurishaha Tamraparni Nadi Yatra Kritamala Payasvini. So Tamraparni occurs in Ramayanam, Tamraparni name occurs in Mahabharatam as well as Bhagavatam. So they reach by the banks of river Tamraparni near a mountain called as Mahendragiri. After having searched Sita at every nook and corner, they are all completely dejected that they are not able to find Sita. In fact, they all start fasting unto death, prayopavesham. In Sanatana Dharma, suicide is a very, very abhorred practice because this body, this material body also belongs to Paramatma and this cannot be dispensed at one's own thought or wish. So they all fast unto death, which is not approved in Sanatana Dharma. While they were doing so, that is when a big vulture peeps from one of the caves in the mountain. And that vulture, a scavenger, was Sampati. Sampati was the elder brother to Jatayu. Jatayu and Sampati were the sons of Aruna. Aruna was the elder brother to Garuda, born through Vinata. So the Sampati peeped out and said, I am going to eat you all. I am very hungry, I am going to eat you all. But surprisingly, the Sampati, unlike most other birds that have wings that can fly, was just walking. There were no wings to Sampati. That amazed and surprised the Vanaras. Now, in return, these Vanaras were extremely worried looking at the size and the ferociousness of Sampati, and they said, see, you are going to eat us. We ourselves are so dejected that we weren't proving useful to Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra. And then they describe the birth, the boyhood of Ramachandra, his marriage to Sita, his exile in the forest, Sita being abducted, and later say, in this process, you are saying today that you will eat us up. But there was another bird called as Jatayu who sacrificed his life for the sake of Rama and Sita, and today you are eating us, who are also at the service of Rama and Sita. Priyam kritam hi Ramasya dharmajnena Jatayusha raghavarte parishranta vayam santyakta jivitaha. That is when Sampati feels enlightened. He says, did you speak about my brother Jatayu? I was the one who tried saving him. When both of us had conquered the cities of Amaravati, of Indra, and were flying at higher altitudes, the scorching rays of the sun were burning us. When I thought, as a dutiful brother, it is my duty to protect my dear younger brother Jatayu, I covered him with my large wings, and as he went down and as I covered, in the due process, I lost my wings and my wings got burnt and I was pushed here to this Mahendragiri earth. But today I am so upset listening to the very saddening news that my brother is also dead. But one thing, I can convince myself that he has died serving Rama, who is none but the one who measured the worlds as Trivikrama. Janami varunan lokan Vishnostrai vikramanapi devasura vimadascha kriyamritasya vimanthanam. As he says this, Sampati says, I think I can prove of little help in your all big mission of in the search of Sita. He says, I heard the cry of a very, very weak lady. When I peeped and looked up, I saw one lady being abducted by the king, the demon king of Lanka. Know that this king's name is Ravana. There used to be a great sage called Pulastya. Pulastya was married to Havirbhuk. They had two children. One was Agastya, the Agastya Maharshi, and second was Vishravas. Vishravas, through his wife called Yilbila, had a son called Kubera. Kubera built the Lanka Pattinam. He was very rich but very weak in power. So, Vishravas' other sons, through Kaikashi, called Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana, through Pushpotkataka called Mahodara and Parshvada, through Raka, a girl called as Shurpanaka. They were all against Kubera and they seized Lanka from him. This demon king of Lanka was the one who abducted Sita and has gone. I cannot clearly tell how far is Lanka, but I have heard my son Suparshva say that it is 100 yojanas. That is when Sampati narrates this particular shlokam. Taruni Rupa Sampanna Sarvabharana Bhushita Kriyamana Maya Drishta Ravanena Duratmana Kroshanti Rama Rameti Lakshmaneti Cha Bhamini Bhushayanya Vidhyanti Gatrani Cha Vidhunvati. So she is somewhere in the south. That much I can assure you. Somebody has to leap across the ocean through the oceanic waters and see her. As Sampati was narrating these events to the Vanaras who had gathered there under the leadership of Hanuman, Jambavan, Nala, Nila and Angada, something very surprising happened. The one who had lost his wings long back due to the scorching rays of the sun, as he was uttering the name of Rama every now and then, from you all I understand that this is the biography of Rama. From you all I understand that Rama was married to Sita. From you all I understand that Rama's wife Sita was abducted by Ravana. From you all I understand that Jatayu, my dear brother, had sacrificed his life for the sake of Rama and Sita. As he was mentioning Rama, Nama, Rama, Nama, Shri Rama, Rama, Rameti, Rame, Rame, Mano, Rame. As he was uttering Ramanama time and again, after many years of having lost his wings and seeing no hope of their revival, he saw that there were certain sprouts of his wings coming out and he could fly minimally. This gave him hope that bhakti gives so much of energy to bhaktas. While Sampati was extremely happy with the grace he had received from Ramanama and having contributed a little to telling the geography, the distance, now Jambavan and the other Vanaras were in a fix. Who is going to leap across the gigantic oceanic waters to Lanka? That is when Gajaha, one Vanara called Gaja, said, Plaveyam Dashayojanam. Out of the 100 yojanas, I can jump for 10 yojanas. But what is the use? After 10 yojanas, he will fall into the waters. Next, Gavaksha, another Vanara, said, Plaveyam Vimshatim, 20 yojanas. Jambavan, the bear, said, Maya Vairochane Yajne Prabha Vishnu Sanatanaha Pradakshini Krita Purvam Kramamanas Tribikramam. At one point in time, when Mahavishnu came as Vamana and measured the worlds as Trivikrama, I went around the world. But what is the use? Now I cannot fly. So, as Jambavan was telling all of this, each Vanara was saying 10 yojanas, 20, 30, 40, 50. Angada, Vani's son, said 100 yojanas. Jambavan said, go, then start leaping, start flying, start levitating. But Angada said, I will have the energy to fly only once, not to come back. Then what is the use? So there was no hope for any Vanara to go there. But one Vanara hadn't opened his mouth. His name was Hanuman. And here begins Sundara Kandam. Next episode onwards, we are going to witness. I will have the opportunity to narrate. You will have the opportunity to listen to one of the most wish-yielding portions, the Kamadhenu, the Kalpaka Vriksham, the Chintamani of Ramayanam, called as Sundara Kandam. More in the next episode. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.